And we go into our investigation more tonight. We are looking into a care facility in the upstate and checking to see what action state officials have taken after promising changes. Our reporting revealed a history of issues at Oak Ridge Community Care, the Inmate Assisted Living Center that investigators say put residents at risk, is prompted a state senator to call for changes. Now that state senator is now calling for more to be done.
Fox Carolina's Grace Runkle joins us live in studio now with the latest from those officials involved. Grace.
Well, Senator Tom Corbin wrote the director of DHEC 12 days ago asking what could be done to improve the complaint investigation process. And this was after our initial investigation revealed that the same complaints were being made over and over again about Oak Ridge Community Care to DHEC with no real improvements being made. A DHEC spokesperson tells us in part, quote, "Our staff is in the process of compiling and reviewing information so that we can provide a detailed and thorough update to Senator Corbin. As the licensor of our state's long-term care facilities, DHEC is committed first and foremost to ensuring these facilities provide safe, quality living environments for their residents as required by state laws and regulations. There is no higher priority than the health and well-being of the residents who call these facilities home. We look forward to continued conversations with Senator Corbin in the near future." Now, Senator Corbin's letter asked a series of questions about the investigation process, including whether residents are told how to contact DHEC and how quickly investigators follow up after a complaint is made. Senator Corbin also asked the DHEC director to consider making changes that can be done without the approval of the General Assembly, because that could end up being a pretty lengthy process. And we're also waiting to get reports back on another facility here in the upstate that several of you have written us about, so you can expect another